Hi, Ahmed.
Hi, Laith. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good.
Very good, very good. Well, excited to be doing this live stream. It's a fact, it's my first live stream that I do. Have you done a live stream before?
It's my second actually, so not the first time, but I'm sure you're gonna do great.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Hope you're all having a good day, whether you're in the Middle East, good morning. If you're in Australia or elsewhere, it might be more of a good evening. But my name is Laith Shahin. I'm the founder and CEO at Secolve. We are basically the founders of OT-SAT, which is the video-based OT security awareness training that we're here to talk about today with Ahmed, our partner from Invictux, whom Secolve and Invictux recently partnered specifically around OT-SAT.
Yep.
A couple of things, basically, just as housekeeping. It's a live stream and not a webinar. That's a key one. What this means is you can jump in at any time you want. You can basically join in, ask any questions, basically ask the questions in the chat, but it's more of a chit chat, let's say. And yeah, probably that's it. I don't think there's anything further. I hope you guys enjoy it. And Ahmed, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Laith. Thank you for this introduction. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Just give you a quick background about myself. I'm Ahmed Farouk, the co-founder and the head of business development at Invictux. Just to highlight what we do, Invictux, we are a dedicated OT cybersecurity provider. We provide end-to-end services to our customer and clients. We start from the assessment phase, doing all kinds of assessments, as well as implementation integration for OT cybersecurity solution, starting from IDS solutions, remote access solutions, as well as data diodes and SIM solutions. After that, we're able to manage your SOC or your network through our OT cybersecurity SOC services and our team, helping to build, design, and manage your OT SOC. This is a quick intro about Invictux. We are based out of 4 areas: Saudi, Egypt, India, and Dubai, which gives us a comfortable way of delivering to our customers and clients in the Middle East, North Africa, Europe, and Asia. Through our services, we were focusing on training and awareness, especially on OT cybersecurity. We found that there's a big demand and the ability to scale was very difficult. So we decided to partner up with Secolve that have a great product called the OT-SAT, which mainly allows you to scale easily, work on, get training and awareness remote from any area in the world, as well as flexibility when it comes to languages and the type of framework you're working in, which could cover the NCA OTCC if you're in Saudi, the ISO 62443 if you're in Europe and the US. I would like Laith to jump in, give us more about why the product was created and what gaps it fills in the market.
Well, I guess you've said it all, Ahmed. You've touched on all the important points there. But look, I think the key one is the reasons that organizations use OT-SAT. And if I was to summarize it with 3 reasons, as you know, the audience I'm sure knows, and this research is not really new. It's a couple of years. It's been identified that 95% of cyber security breaches are due to the human error, which only means that you should provide the contextualized content and training to the right users based on their role. And most of the current cybersecurity awareness training provided to organizations is cyber in nature. And in some cases now with compliance and aligning to specific standards, you must provide that role-based training. So companies also, utilize OT-SAT to help achieve specific compliance, and more importantly, to train basically the critical workers, the engineers at scale across the organization. And that's why we basically created it, because the current OT security awareness training methods, even though they're great and they provide a lot of value, they're not really scalable. Both in time and cost. So, you have to pay thousands per engineers for a 3 or 4 day course. And that is a lot of time basically to take an engineer out of work. And that's why we basically, created OT-SAT to solve this problem and then add that value to companies.
Excellent. And from what I understand, just to highlight to our to the people who are watching us, OT highlights operational technology, which we focus on critical assets such as power and grid and utilities, oil and gas power plants, nuclear facilities, as well as airports and manufacturing facilities. So if you guys work in the cybersecurity industries in one of these, I think OTSAT and cybersecurity training and awareness is definitely a go-to. Laith, if you can walk us through a little bit of the platform, the features. I know you guys have a very good user-friendly platform. Would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably, Ahmed. One thing that I'd say before is what you will find out in large enterprises, regardless of whether it's OT, industrial or critical infrastructure, that companies have their own corporate learning management system, and that's where users basically undertake their training, whether that being their safety training or other types of training related to their roles. So what we basically found is that a lot of companies prefer to onboard training into their own learning management system. So OTSAT offers those different subscription models, one of which you could just basically upload what's known as SCORM files into your learning management system. And alternatively, we've got this fully built learning management system where users can basically complete the training on a mobile app, both iOS and Android, just as a YouTube experience, or via basically OTSAT as a platform. So that's probably key in sharing, given the importance of how training gets rolled out.
Just a quick question, Laith. I had a quick question for you. Is there a number limited to a specific organization for the number of users, or is it scalable to the number that you need or want?
No, it scales based on the number that you need or you want. It's a good question. Some organization will train 1,000 users, others will train a couple of hundred users. A lot of companies mix and match. And what I mean by this is that they identify that in reality, Ahmed, even though we'd like to think OT training is the most crucial thing ever, but the reality is that it's one of many other controls, and therefore companies would want to roll out specific content that is limited to a certain duration, whether that being 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So what you find is that companies would provide the majority of their users, the hundreds or the thousands, depending on the size, with those videos, whilst you then have a handful amount of engineers, or let's say limited amount, that would access the whole library via the platform itself. And that's why another way that scales. I was curious, Ahmed, to ask you as well, from the Saudi Arabia perspective, for example, the NCA OTCC, we learned over the last couple of years that it drives a lot of conversations in the region and the driver. Can you tell me a bit more about how you see training aligned to NCA, or some of the requirements for training within the NCA?
Yeah. So one of the main drivers in the region, especially in Saudi, that's driving the cybersecurity, especially the OT, is the NCA, which is the National Cybersecurity of Saudi Arabia. They currently introduced a new legislation called the OTCC, which mainly focuses on OT cybersecurity. So they're demanding a lot of companies in the critical infrastructure area to abide by these regulations. So we as experts, we come in, we do, as Invictux, we did a couple of on-hand training workshops to different customers and clients of outlining the details of the OTCC, what requirements the customer needs, what types of assessment they need, what type of solutions they need to meet the requirements, so they can be approved by the NCA in general. And currently, we're in the currently creating with Secolve the OTCC NCA module that's going to be remote. This is very essential in Saudi Arabia. A lot of pressure has been put by the NCA on the big critical infrastructure players to abide by this legislation. So it's a hot area right now, and I know you guys are covering it and are developing your own OTCC training remote program, and we're very happy to be part of this initiative and supporting you guys.
Well, we are happy too, and you're absolutely right. So I think it's around 18 months ago or so, the first GITEX that we attended, which was last year. That's when we got to learn more about the NCA OTCC and develop that module in that regard. And probably it's something important here to mention, Ahmed, that OTSAT does not really replace the other type of training that a company would provide its users. So our clients, of course, still have their IT cybersecurity awareness training platforms or content, and they roll OTSAT, as an OT supplement or complement. But also, it's important to also note that for companies that would provide their engineers with a face-to-face NCA training, or for example, your IEC 62443 training via ISA, OTSAT doesn't replace it. You would still put those engineers into it because this is more of an awareness and knowledge what we provide, and then it complements it. But I think for something like the a standard like the NCO TCC, which is also similar to in Europe the NIS2, is the ability to basically train or provide awareness and knowledge across the whole organization about the standard, which helps
Yes.
in generally.
And that takes me to the other question I had in mind. So what type of workforce are you targeting through OTSAT? Are there the control engineers in the plant? Is it the IT cybersecurity guys or the C-levels? So what is your main customer base when it comes to your clients?
Yes, it's also a good question because it helps answer the type of content that's covered. So look, basically the type of content that OTSAT covers to cater for the different sectors, geographical locations, but maturity of specific users and organizations. We have fundamental level, intermediate level, and advanced level. So when I'm talking fundamental, you're basically looking at modules such as OT cybersecurity fundamentals or introduction to OT security, or even module like technology in OT, where you're introducing the actual industrial control systems, the security considerations around them. And then you have more intermediate topics, such as the incidents in OT, or such as, for example, you can argue 62443, an introduction to it. And these topics are designed for different user groups. So and then you have the advanced topics like secure PLC coding practices, or more on the offensive security front, are more advanced topics. So what we've done is we've mapped our content into the different user roles and user groups, so that if an organization basically has operators, then they'll probably roll out the fundamentals, while for the asset managers or site managers, they might provide more intermediate and advanced content. So that's how we've done it to cater to the different user roles.
Excellent. That's great. And would be great if you could walk us through the platform, the features, to see how the user interface is. Could be a good chance for our customers to have a quick look at it.
Absolutely, Ahmed. But funnily enough, I actually just realized I'm not going to be able to do it. 2 days ago, I dropped a glass of water on my laptop, and this is a new one that I haven't really shared the screen via StreamYard. So if I do, I'm going to have to leave the call and get back, similar to what happens on a Teams call when you share your screen for the first time. That's a technical error. But that's good because as part of this, as part of this new partnership, maybe it's worth announcing to the market that we're very excited to be working with Invictux and moving to those new regions. And as we discussed earlier, as part of this partnership and our first live stream, we have that special offer where that for the first 5 clients that basically get a demo via Invictux for OTSAT, Invictux has something in store for them. And that might mean that more people would want to see it now that I've got this technical issue and unable to show the platform. Apologies again for that.
100%, but from our experience, it's very easy to use. A lot of YouTube content, videos, as well as the graphics, as well, and you can change it into multiple languages. I think you guys have 5 languages on there, right?
Correct. That is again another good point. So we currently have 5 languages, and that's because those are the languages that the global users are currently using OTSAT speak. But we've got the ability to scale the training into any language. So you're absolutely right. Whether that being Arabic, European languages, French, Spanish, German, Dutch, Danish, Asian language, Korean, Japanese, we've got that ability. Absolutely.
Excellent. Great initiative. We're a dedicated partner, happy to promote OTSAT. If you guys have any questions about the product, we have access to it. We're able to do demos, show you guys how you can work on it in the Middle East. We do also a lot of in-person workshops, especially in Saudi and Qatar. So let us know if you guys need anything. And as said before, first 5 customers who come, we have a special discount through Invictux, we're able to get you the OT-SAT at a very, very good rate. Thank you everyone for joining.
I think we also have some questions that's come in, so I think we do have some time to cover them. Wissam, thank you. We'd like to think it was informative, and Ahmed, good to be catching up. One of the questions is from Omar, and it says, "Is the platform open for a demo or trial for companies to use?" Absolutely, that is what it's open for. So please, if you'd like to see the platform or have trial, reach out to Invictux, and we can certainly arrange it. I'm just trying to read first question. Let's share some features. Verbally, absolutely. As I said, due to the reason that I'm unable to share the screen, and hopefully we'll have another live stream soon, or you'll see it in the demo. Some of the features in the platform, basically like a learning management system, so it would allow you, if you're an admin to start with, to assign specific content to specific users. What I mean by this is that if you have, say, 100 users, you might not want to roll out a library of 80 videos to everyone. So what you would do is you'd assign specific users into groups, and you assign specific content to the users, and that's how you'd be able to track them. Startingly as well, we're building more of a toolbox for OT engineers and sites into some basic, let's call it, templates that they can use across the site in order to uplift security generally. We have a glossary across the platform that would help explain all the different terms that are used in OT. We have a quiz, of course, that assesses every video. Users get Credly badges and certificates for all training that they complete, so that it's recognized. And Secolve is underway to become a registered training organization. So with that, there will be a lot of additional features related to the user experience and what they get once they complete the training. Yeah.
And I had another question, Laith. Let's say, for example, I have my own internal program within my company and organization. Can I use your guys' platform in order to formulate that into, for example, a program more on a remote scale? Do you guys do specific training models for big companies, or that feature is not there yet in Secolve when I'm talking about OT cybersecurity specifically?
Sorry, can you repeat your question, Ahmed?
Yes. For example, I'm a big organization. I have around 7,000 guys, and I have my own internal training module. Can I send it to you guys, and you guys put it remotely and do it on Secolve, or this is not a feature that's available yet when talking about OT-SAT?
No, look, I would say this is not something that we've done yet. It's definitely a conversation that we've had with several organizations. I guess it comes down to here on a case-by-case basis into what that content is, and I'll give you more context. So if an organization has its certain incident response plans, or its certain policies or procedures that they'd want to train users on, we would be able to create that video content related to it by basically learning this content and having different sessions to ensure that the understanding and the content that we've aligned for the video aligns with what they want to deliver. But in some cases, this becomes hard to scale, and that is because you're diving into an organization by organization context, and therefore the goal is to make it sector specific rather than organization only centric. So this means if you're an airport, you have airport-specific content. If you're in energy, you have energy-specific content. And that is how we're trying to contextualize it instead of going into each organization's, training.
Perfect. I think that's all from my side. Happy to have any more questions. Other than that, I encourage you to go and check out the website, check out the features on it, and ask for a demo. I got a couple of demos from my guys, and they're working on it they're very happy with it. And definitely it's a big addition to the OT cybersecurity training and awareness market. And we're going to be promoting OT-SAT in Black Hat end of this month in Riyadh, and in other conferences in the Middle East, in Egypt, Libya, North Africa, as well as Qatar and Kuwait.
we will be looking forward to it, Ahmed, and then supporting you and all the local organizations. I've got one more question here from Mahmoud, and the answer is yes. Does the training cover the OT or RCS network protocols? Yes, Mahmoud. And again, we can show you if you'd like to see it more in a demo or a conversation. So let Invictux know. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining. Ahmed, good to see you and catch up. Apologies for the technical error.
No
And
issue.
yeah, we will speak soon. Thank you all.
Next time we'll do an in-person workshop here in Egypt.
Absolutely, that's it. Looking forward to it.
All right.